Hi, Pattie Simone here with the Flip Report, and today we're reporting from South Carolina in Charleston, talking with Jennet Robinson Alterman, who is the Executive Director of the Center for Women. And Jennet's going to give us a little bit of information about what's going on in Charleston, how she's seeing recovery, if any, what kinds of services that also they offer here for women entrepreneurs. So take it away.
Well, I appreciate
Jennet.
the interest. The Center for Women, our mission is very simple. It's to help women succeed every day. Nothing more complicated than that. And as a result, we do a comprehensive variety of personal and professional development programs throughout the course of the year. We are a membership organization. We're the largest women's membership organization in the state of South Carolina.
Oh, that's great.
But unfortunately, we're also the only true women's development center in the state of South Carolina.
Wow.
And there are a lot of things working against women in this state. We offer through roughly 100 programs a year everything from how to start a business to how to deal with a parent being diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And basically our demographic is everyone from working poor all the way up to trust fund babies. You know, some issues like divorce, for example, cut across all socioeconomic lines. I will tell you this, the most affirming moment and a real tipping point for us came in 2006 when Oprah Winfrey came to Charleston.
Yes, I remember you telling me about that.
She did her Live Your Best Life workshop, and she let it be known that she was going to do a grant for a local nonprofit, and she chose us. And she said, I talk about how to live my best life, and you teach people how to do that. So we're very pleased with that kind of recognition.
So, and what about what you have in the future that you've been planning for helping other people, you know, other women obviously start businesses? And I do know also, I mean, I've been to several of your conferences that are very well attended. I know they're joint projects with the Charleston Chamber of Commerce. Lots of men come to those things too.
Exactly.
Correct?
Exactly.
But you're also helping the newbie, the person who's dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur, as well as people who have put more than a toe into it and they still feel like, wow, they don't have their footing.
Well, as we both know, that first 2 to 3 years of any business is critical, and there's so many things that can come up that can really get in the way of your success. So we created the Entrepreneurial Woman Series as a way to offer technical assistance to people who are either starting a business or getting it off the ground in that critical 2 to 3 year period. We do monthly programs. You have very generously done programs for us over the last several years on everything from branding to communication to how to really set your place in the marketplace, as it were, and we've really expanded on that. Now, one thing is definitely affecting what we're doing, and that is the economy. South Carolina, I think we're 4th in the nation in terms of unemployment. And as a result of that, we have put into place a brand new program on how to develop and conduct a job search. Because this is a small business-based economy, a lot of small businesses have had to lay people off, people who have been with them for many years. And so we're seeing a group of women suddenly entering the marketplace, as it were, who haven't had to look for a job in some time, who need to understand how you look for a job online, how you deal with the new resume and what it needs to look like.
I'm wondering, with those folks that are out there, are you at all directing them in any way to looking into becoming an independent contractor for folks? It may not be the best world, especially if they're looking for health care, because that's the one conundrum if you're an independent contractor, but at least it's a job.
I'll tell you what we do. We have a 3-hour workshop where you get the basics of what a resume needs to look like, the basics of how to do an online job search, all of those technical pieces. But then we have recruited from the community a dozen certified job coaches who do 90-minute individual consultations with these women.
That's fabulous.
And as part of that conversation is not just being able to customize a resume, but helping someone go through that whole process of, do you really want to continue in the field in which you've been for these last years? Do you want to think about doing something different? And coming out of these conversations, and we've had over 300 women go through this program in the last year, is a new trend. And that is the trend of what I'm calling the micro woman entrepreneur.
Right. You had mentioned that before.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit about that. I know that there's someone who's a part of this center who's also trying to help fund micro enterprise loans, correct?
We have actually piloted a microloan project this year. And I'll give you an example. I think more and more women are starting businesses on the side. I think more and more women are looking for ways to take control of their schedules as well as their salaries and their availability to their families. And so they're looking at creating these businesses that are in many ways internet-based, are smaller businesses, are doable. An example would be the two women we gave microloans to this year, one of whom is a full-time nanny. On the side, she has a birthday theme party business called Teacups and Trucks.
Oh, cool.
Now, here's what's really cool about her. So she has a job. She's a single mother. She has a job. She started this birthday theme party on the side. She was able to fund the startup, and then it got real successful. And she realized that in order to grow, currently she could do a party for 15 kids, getting all of her paraphernalia in her pre-owned SUV that she had, and with a microloan of $1,000, she was able to buy a trailer, which enabled her to double her capacity. She could do a party for up to 30 kids, or she could hire somebody part-time to do a party while she was. So literally, with $1,000, we were able to double this woman's capacity for revenue.
That's great.
The other woman started a cleaning business, a commercial cleaning business on the side, because she wanted to send her son to a smaller classroom environment other than the public high school. And she needed the extra funding to do that. She was working as a clerk with the railroad, the 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. shift. She started the cleaning business. She ended up getting laid off. She took the cleaning business full-time. And I'm happy to say that this year, with $1,000 from us, she got the software technology she needed to set up a home-based office.
That's
and not
terrific.
have to use a payroll company and do all
So
of that
it
herself.
really is amazing how much these micro enterprise loans are having, like you said, a direct impact.
Granted, this is a tiny sample, but I can tell you from my own experience, I worked extensively overseas in third world countries with women doing micro enterprise projects, and it really, really works. And the difference between our program and all other loan programs, and there is no other micro loan program in this town, is that we provide that technical support during the life of the loan. So when Corey with Teacups and Trucks needs to figure out, do better revenue projections, we can get her the help of a small business consultant. When Vicki, who has the cleaning service, wants to develop a website, we can get one of our members of this organization to help her do that.
I have a question. I met someone today down at the market. Mm-hmm. She's a woman entrepreneur that's producing a different kind of bookmark, basically. Several different versions of different kinds of bookmarks, very artistic in nature. And I asked her right away whether she was able to produce them domestically. Mm-hmm. And she said to me, sadly, no. But I had such a hard time finding the resources to do that. And I, of course, mentioned you, mm-hmm. you folks, and said, have you been in touch with them? And that was a question that, she said, well, I couldn't find the help. Are you at all beginning to, or have there been anybody that you're going to start be doing business with that you can help them connect with foreign entities if they have to?
We actually do
outsource?
We do programs every year on how you find manufacturers.
Ah, there. So she didn't know about that.
And then all the import-export issues that you have with that.
Right, right.
This being a port city, that's pretty standard, and we've got some excellent people who work in the whole shipping.
Well, I'm going to give you her name when we finish this interview, because there's someone who she was not aware mm-hmm. of it, and that's part of the conundrum, I'm sure, as you know.
As a
people don't
nonprofit,
know.
you were on a very limited budget. We depend upon the kindness of our friends and strangers to support our programs. Our memberships are only $35 a year. Advertising is a big issue for us because we cannot afford to advertise the way a company would. So we depend a lot on the internet. And I will tell you this, thanks to the generosity of Google, we got a Google grant 4 years ago when they actually moved a facility here. And that allows us to pop up so that if anyone Googles Center Women's Support Charleston, Women in Business Charleston, we're going to be the first thing to come up.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, I thank you so much for taking the time to chat today, and certainly please keep us informed. I'd like to know if there's any new programs. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'd like to come back in and do something on the flip camera, which we're using right now, to do reports, and we'll keep tabs on what's happening here.
You do good work, Patty. Keep it up.
Oh, thanks.